have extra fun for me. Maybe an extra drink or two, Cam.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
You have a game? You have a game, Cam?
I'd rather laugh with the sinners than cry with the saints. Welcome to beautiful San Diego, California, here on the West Coast. Some excellent drone footage setting up shop here for this Week 3 battle between the San Diego Mavericks and the Portland Fleet. Robert Hansen Field at Lee Archer Stadium is the site of this battle between these two 0-2 teams. And it's the Sunday Spotlight, the Simulation Football League, brought to you by APM Music. Eric Vincent alongside Ryan Caudill up here in the booth. And Ryan, both these teams, one of these teams hasn't won a game in franchise history in San Diego. Do you think they're going to get one here today?
You know, they definitely have a chance, and if they're going to get a win, this is the time to do it. Portland had a pretty rough start to the season. Last season they kind of had the same rough start, and they're an 0-2 team, so San Diego needs to take this opportunity now that they have it and try to get a win here today.
And they've got some good pieces across the board, honestly. Javier Vasquez coming back at quarterback, Jalen Wells, a veteran, Optimus Klein, obviously the owner of this fine ball club here in San Diego. They've got some fine pieces indeed, and added some new ones here in the offseason through the draft and a couple free agent signings as well. We'll get into those as we get a look at the coin toss here today. And it looks like Portland will win the toss, and they will elect to kick the football and receive the second half kickoff. Which means Kevin DuPont, the kicker for the San Diego Mavericks, will tee up the football and get us ready for action here this afternoon. Forgive me, it looks like Portland will go ahead and kick the football off. My mistake. Which means David John will tee the football up, and San Diego will receive the first half kickoff. Arm is in the air, ball is on the tee, foot is into the pigskin. We're ready to go. Fielded at about the 5-yard line. San Diego will start off at the 28-yard line. And that was courtesy of Ryan Owens, number 10, which means we'll see Javier Vasquez come out for his first offensive possession. And what are we looking for on offense for this ball club here, Ryan?
You know, they definitely need to improve from last season. They didn't have very good numbers, but I think we're going to see a lot of passing here today.
Under center is going to be a Jalen Wells handoff to start things off. And he will get out to the 29-yard line. Short gain there. We'll get a look at the offensive starters here for the Mavericks. Javier Vasquez at quarterback, Jalen Wells, the running back, Nick Hoagland, the fullback, Ryan Owens, Liam Hammer, and Connor Weston, the wide receivers, Optimus Klein at tight end, his 10th season in the Simulation Football League, and Finley James, number 66, the center for the Mavericks on offense. Another Wells handoff, and similar results on second down, brings up third down here as we get a look at the stars for the Portland Fleet on defense. Robert Brower, Duro Nuevo, Bernard Patterson, and Gary Burney, the front four. Mel Davis, Gary Clem, Khalil Thomas, the linebackers. Chris Stack, Derek Majors, and Leo Morris are the corners, along with Bob Funk and Shawn Allen to wrap up the defensive backfield. 3rd and 9 from the 29. First pass of the ball game. Vasquez dumps it off short of the line to gain, and his receiver will step out of bounds. So that's going to be a 3-and-out for San Diego to start things off as Connor Weston brings in his first catch of the ball game.
I was thinking we were going to see a little bit more passing. Portland this season has a pretty good rush defense compared to their passing defense. I figured San Diego would take advantage of that with those receiving weapons that they have, but they come up short on the first drive, and now it's Portland's turn.
And we will see the first punt of the ball game, courtesy of Alex Domion. And a big hit there on special teams. Knocks the Portland return man to the turf. That's Leo Morris. And we'll see the rookie OJ Bruin come out here for his first offensive possession. Had a very efficient ball game against the champs. Against the season 15 champs, Baltimore Vultures, last week. And unfortunately, it resulted in a loss, but Portland's been looking good on offense. We'll see what they do here on 1st and 10. Bruin will throw, 7-step drop, has time, gonna air it out over the middle into traffic and caught. Nelson Lozano Jr. had a couple catches like that last week against the Vultures, and one play, and that's a big play into San Diego territory.
They're sending a message here on the first play from offense for Portland. They send a deep bomb. Bruin drops back. A rookie with so much confidence throws that ball across the middle, and a huge first down for Portland.
Portland coming out 4 wide this time. Bruin will be under center. He will throw after a short drop, hit as he's thrown, and it falls to the turf incomplete. Get a look at the offensive starters for the Fleet. OJ Bruin at quarterback. Ezekiel Love, the halfback, 1,400 yards on the ground for him a season ago. John Trusman at fullback. Art Vandelay, Gene Valentine, and Benjamin Warner, the wide receivers. And, of course, we saw Nelson Lozano Jr. at tight end. Second down, just under 9 minutes to go. Bruin to throw again. And this time finds a wide open man. Bottom of the screen. Good spin move there by Valentine. And he gets first down yardage out to the San Diego 24.
Valentine opening up the spin cycle there. Bruin throws the ball to his receiver. Valentine was a little bit short of the first down. Makes a quick move. Picks up the first down. Helps out his offense. And now Portland has a fresh set of downs here. We'll see if they want to go with the running game that is so strong for that team, or if they continue with this passing attack.
Very productive drive here for the Portland Fleet as Bruin will throw again. He's thrown, and that could have gone for 6 the other way. Number 49 steps right into the path of the football. That was Francis Gabreski, the extra safety that they had out in coverage on the play.
Big sigh of relief from all of Portland's offense there. They have such a good drive going. What would sour it would be a pick right there, and they got away with one. And San Diego is onto their passing game. We'll see if they switch it up, go with the run.
Live to fight another day. Bruin under center. He's going to throw again. Throws on the run and incomplete. He was looking towards the top of the screen for Art Vandelay. And in coverage there was Kai Cash, the free agent acquisition from Houston in the offseason.
Yeah, great play there in coverage by Kai Cash. And he was a great pickup for this defense for the Maverick. Got him from Houston. He had a great season last season with Houston. Now bringing some of that experience with him to the Mavericks to bolster up that defense.
3rd and long now for Portland. Bruin in the gun. Quick drop, quick throw over the middle, and that's caught. Momentum carried him forward past the line to gain. And that was a good catch and run by Nick Adams, one of the extra receivers out there in the formation, and that'll move him into the red zone at the 13-yard line.
Yeah, great play there by Bruin. Great throw. I have no idea how he got that ball past the receiver, past the defender, but it went right into the receiver's arm. Receiver makes a great move, gets the first down.
We'll see the first handoff to Ezekiel Love, and it goes for a couple, which gives us time to look at the Maverick starters on defense. Joe Duncan, Denzel Maverick, Mufasa Kamau, and KT Slayer, the front four. Leon Thunderman, Stephon Forge, both rookies coming in at linebacker, along with Pete Mitchell and David King. Ron Hoff, Kai Cash, the corners. Raylan Earl, the third, and Zach Holdorf at safeties. Full house here for the Fleet. Handoff to Love, trying to find some running room, and gets plowed over the middle there. Close to the 5-yard line. Mark him down at the 7. It's going to set up 3rd and manageable.
A decent run there by Love, able to find a running lane in what looked like a solid wall there, and gets a nice gain out of what could have been nothing. And that's kind of what he brings to this team. He's able to, pick up these extra yards, pick up these big plays for himself as well, and drive this offense.
Love again with the carry. Near side, and that's going to be into the end zone for a touchdown. Ezekiel Love with an easy run there. Probably didn't need to bust out the spin cycle, but did it just for flair.
Yeah, gotta add a little bit of style to the touchdown run. Whenever your offensive line does the work for you, you gotta add a little bit in there. There were 2 blocks there on the outside that were absolutely key by the offensive line, and Ezekiel Love is just able to walk it in. Great run by Portland. Great drive as an offense. They're able to switch it up, use the passing of OJ Bruin. He was able to get that big deep ball to Lozano, and then they were still able to use their small game, keep the chains moving, and work their way towards the end zone. So a great first drive here for Portland, and they are in the driver's seat in this game.
Yeah, Bruin just with 6 incompletions a week ago against Baltimore, threw for almost 350 and 2 touchdowns. And here he's got himself a touchdown. He's got himself a touchdown drive as Ezekiel Love did the dirty work there to cap off the drive. So San Diego with a 3-and-out in Portland, a very impressive drive to take the lead here on the road in the opening frame of play. John boots the football down the field, and Owens will get another crack at the return. He'll get knocked down at the 24-yard line, and San Diego will take over on offense once again. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game all into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. Offset I formation for San Diego. Handoff to Wells, and again, Wells gets a minimal gain. They'll give him maybe a half a yard, brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, San Diego this offseason, they definitely bolstered up their defense with these free agents, but this offense, they've kept pretty much the same. They added in Liam Hammer and the center Finley James, but they've kept that unit solid as a core, and they want them to grow through this league together and develop into a good unit together.
Vasquez 7-step drop, got to air it out over the middle, and that's an interception. A very impressive pick by Derek Majors as he high-pointed the football and falls to the turf, and we have our first turnover of the ball game.
That's a beautiful play there by Majors in coverage. He's able to just stay in front of his man, stay covered, and then go up for the ball. He's a short man, but he got up there. He's 5'10", the shortest guy on the field right now. Gets a big interception for Portland, and they were just in the driver's seat on offense, and that momentum from the offense carried into the defense. They're able to get that turnover, and now they're here at midfield with some great field position and maybe another chance to score here for Portland.
We're going to have to start measuring verticals here in the SFL because that looked more like a bunny hop there for my guy, Derek Majors. But hey, a pick is a pick, and Portland's got the football back right away as Love gets a handoff for about maybe a yard.
And I like what San Diego was doing on that drive. You know, they were trying to run the ball earlier, and now they change it up, go for a big play, let Vasquez test his arm out. Unfortunately, it was to the wrong receiver. The defender got in the way, those pesky defenders, and it was an interception.
Yeah, solid coverage there by Portland, and a turnover as a result as Love gets another carry, but San Diego buries him in the backfield, close to midfield, and they'll mark him down. They'll mark it down as no gain, but I'm pretty sure he got hit in the backfield there, 3rd and long.
Yeah, I think it was a 2nd and 9, so I think he may have lost a yard there.
Maybe.
And it was a good play there by Denzel Maverick. Stop.
Obvious passing situation for Portland here as Bruin guns one towards the top of the screen, and that's caught. Benjamin Warner with a nice catch in traffic, and that'll move the sticks to the 33.
Yeah, that's a tough throw to make. You throw it up high. If you throw it a little too high, that could go right into the defender's hand, but he puts it in the perfect place for his receiver. Warner goes up and gets it and gets the first down for Portland. Great throw by Bruin. He's really starting, even though he's just a rookie, he's playing like a veteran, making these risky plays, making the throws that he needs to so far in this game.
High catch just a little bit too slow on the break there, but a good hit nonetheless as Bruin has time. He's going to get hit from behind, and the football hits the turf. Good pressure there by number 50, Joe Duncan, from the end.
Yeah, and some pressure here on defense, and it's kind of what I was talking about. They got a lot of acquisitions in free agency of these veterans. Duncan, no veteran, but he still helped stop the passing game there, and that was a good play by the defense.
his second year with San Diego, 4th overall here. As Bruin throws a short one over the middle. That's going to be good for maybe a couple out across to the San Diego 30. And that was number 82, Gene Valentine, with the catch.
Not much doing there. Here's another 3rd and 8. Last time on their 3rd and long, they had a big pass. I would expect to see the same thing here. Bruin may try to get it done himself.
Single back, trips bunch towards the bottom of the formation, near sideline. Play action for Bruin. Has time. He's going to look near sideline. He's wide open. Caught again by Valentine. This time for a first down, as we see Bruin's numbers, 60% completion already and 83 yards.
A good piece of work so far from Bruin. He's able to keep these drives alive on 3rd down, twice in a row on 3rd down. He's able to use his arm, get those completions, keep the chains moving, and these offensive drives from Portland so far are looking pretty good.
Just under 4 to go in the opening quarter. Bruin to throw again. Good pocket around and throws it off his back foot and incomplete. That was an ill-advised throw by the rookie as he threw it right into traffic. Zach Holdorf was ready for that one.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest throws to make when you're running and then you throw across your body. You're not going to get much velocity out of that, and that could just be a rookie mistake, or he could be trying to, do something special. Either way, that one went into traffic and could have been a very dangerous throw.
Set up from the 20, heavier formation here for Portland. Bruin will still throw. Pressure's in his face. He's going to go down finally. Back at the 28-yard line, a big loss of 8 yards. And that was Mufasa Kamau that got in there for the sack.
Yeah, and we kept seeing this defensive line come through. They got a hit on the quarterback a couple times and forced some incompletions. They got a stop in the backfield. It was only a matter of time before they got their first sack of the game, and it comes at a great time. Now you have a 3rd and 18 for Portland.
Bruin will throw. Throws it short of the marker, just trying to get some extra yardage and set up his field goal kicker with a better attempt as Vandelay makes the catch. It's going to be 4th and long, and we'll see David John come out for his first field goal attempt.
Yeah, there are some times when you get these 3rd and long plays where you're like, well, I probably can't get the first down here. I'm just going to make this field goal a little bit easier for my kicker, and I'm sure David John appreciates that as he sets up for this field goal. Looks like it would be about 38 yards from here.
John puts his foot into the football and is through from 39 yards officially, and Portland extends the lead to 10 and capitalizes off the turnover.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do. You get these turnovers, you need to convert them into points. There's no worse feeling for a defender after they get their interception for that drive to just result in a punt. They want to increase that lead somehow. That's exactly what they do. Now San Diego, they're in a tough spot here. They're in a bit of a hole. They need to get on offense, and now they need to get 2 scores to even, tie Portland or barely get ahead of them.
I'd still say it's a victory for San Diego there, getting the stop there and forcing the field goal, because the 10-point deficit somehow is a lot less overwhelming than a 14-point deficit, even though it's only 4 points, as San Diego will set up shop at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, you're exactly right as well. That sack prevented what could have been a longer drive. That was a great sack there for that defensive line, and to prevent that from only a field goal whenever it was an interception at midfield, that is definitely a win for San Diego.
Vasquez will look to correct the mistakes on the last drive. Offset I formation, handoff to Wells, and again, this Portland run defense is ready for Jalen Wells, as Clem already has 4 tackles, 1 for a loss.
Now the linebackers stepping up here for Portland, really preventing Jalen Wells from doing anything so far in this game. And that's, going to be key for Portland. If they can stop this run game of San Diego, they can definitely have an access here to win on defense.
Empty gun for Vasquez, trying to thread the needle and incomplete. Secondary ready for it as Shad Allen, the safety, bats the football away. Brings up another 3rd and long situation for San Diego.
Yeah, strong safety in the perfect spot there in the middle of the field. Saw the ball coming, puts his hands up, almost gets an interception there if he had a little more height on him maybe. Still a great play for the defense. Now you have a 3rd and 11 here for San Diego.
5 wideouts for Vasquez to work with. 3 bunch towards the top of the formation. Quick throw down toward the bottom of the screen and incomplete. It was not a great ball that was thrown by Vasquez as he was hit as he threw the football. Scott Andrews, the intended receiver, and that's going to be a 4th down.
Yeah, tough play there for Vasquez with some pressure, trying to make a tough throw, and he just wasn't quite able to get it done. The Fleet get to the backfield, get some pressure on him, and force the stop.
Right now, the Fleet with all the momentum here in this opening quarter of play, as San Diego just cannot get the tires on the ground. Punt return out to the 46-yard line by Leo Morris, and Portland will have good starting field position for their 3rd possession of the ball game. 7 points on their opening possession, 3 points off the turnover, and San Diego with nothing to speak for so far.
Yeah, the defense for San Diego looked decent coming into this week. Their rush defense especially was doing good, top 5 here in the league. They just need to access some of that potential that they have.
Ezekiel Love with the carry and gets buried in the backfield. There's that rush defense you were looking for right there, Ryan, as he gets a loss of 2 on the play.
Yeah, they've planned well for this rush attack of Portland. Portland mostly has been relying on the rushing here. They have the top 3 rush offense in the league so far this season. So stopping that run game is going to stop a big part of Portland's offense.
Pete Mitchell with the TFL brings up 2nd and 12. Bruin will throw. Pressure coming from his backside. Finds the receiver near sideline. Caught. And that is Valentine with another catch as he gets close to 1st down yardage at the 48.
And all of these throws feel so close. San Diego's defensive line keeps threatening him at the line. They keep, nearly getting him down, nearly getting the sack, forcing an incompletion sometimes. And it's a matter of time before they start to take over.
Bruin throws far sideline, has an open man, caught for 1st down yardage and more. That was Benjamin Warner that made his way out to the 32-yard line, and they've just been firing at will through the air here in San Diego.
They've been exceptional on 3rd down. Many times we've seen them get stopped a couple times, and then they're still able to get back on their feet on 3rd down, put the ball in Bruin's hand, and let him throw the ball. Let him get it to his receivers, because he has the receiving talent on that team. These guys can step up and make these plays, and Bruin needs to make the throws, and he's doing exactly that.
Love with another carry, and similar results once again as he's gang tackled at the line of scrimmage. Leon Thunderman, the 1st overall pick in the latest SFL rookie draft, making the stop there.
And doing exactly what they needed him to do. San Diego in this offseason needed to improve their defense, needed to improve their run defense specifically, and he has done exactly that here in his time with the Mavericks.
Love, good blocking in front of him, bounces it to the outside. He's got room, 10, 5, touchdown, Ezekiel Love.
Whoa. I mean, the speed was incredible. Blink and you missed it, because he got to that outside and he was gone 20 yards in about a second, it felt like, all the way to the end zone. And that is exactly why Portland relies on Love, why he's such a big part of this offense, and why he is one of the top running backs in the league right now. That speed to the outside was so insane, and Portland now taking a 3-score lead on the Mavericks here, and the 1st quarter isn't even over yet.
He was 2nd in rushing yardage just a season ago with over 1,400 yards on the ground, and he's got 2 scores to his credit here today in just the 1st quarter of play as Portland takes a commanding 17-0 lead with just 5 seconds to go here in the opening quarter.
And what a display from offense. We saw them playing against Baltimore last week. We knew that this offense was capable of taking it the distance against these harder teams. And here against San Diego, they're showing that. They're showing this prowess of this offense. The Bruin has an amazing arm, and Ezekiel Love is able to complement that with his speed.
Another return for San Diego as it's out to the 24-yard line, and with 1 second frozen on the clock, we'll see one more play here in the 1st quarter before we move on to the 2nd quarter of play. And San Diego, I'm sure, is eager to just wipe this slate clean and start with a new quarter.
Yeah, reset the mindset, go into the second quarter, and really try to get your focus back and get back in this game.
Vasquez under center, fake pitch, going to hand it off, and a good play there by San Diego as it's a good chunk of 9 yards. And I believe that was Hoagland with his first carry of the ball game, and a good gain of 9 will give good momentum to the Mavericks heading into the second quarter of play. Portland's all over San Diego, 17-0 here at the end of 1. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music, and we are on YouTube. Sunday Spotlight continues here as we flip sides of the field. Second and short coming up for San Diego. I formation. Portland ready for the run. They'll get it, and Wells will get just enough for the first down out to the 35-yard line.
And hopefully for San Diego, closing out that last quarter with that run that nearly went for the first down. Wasn't the flashiest play, but it went for a very good gain for them. And that's kind of where you can wipe the slate clean. You can take a deep breath and say, hey, our second quarter and our second half is going to be much more like that play than the plays we've seen before.
Empty for Vasquez, throws it into covers, that's a second pick, and he's got some speed down on the near sideline. That's Sean Allen who can take it to the distance, and he will. Touchdown, Fleet.
I mean, so quickly Portland is able to get back on top. They're able to get more control over San Diego. A dangerous throw there from Vasquez, and Sean Allen gets a pick, gets it all the way to the house there. An impressive run too, outrunning many defenders, and the speed down to the sideline looked like Ezekiel Love on his last touchdown run. Maybe they put Love in another uniform and just slapped him on defense.
They might have done the old switcheroo as far as the jerseys go there. But Sean Allen, a very impressive run there. And as soon as he picked it off, you saw the lane open up for him on the near sideline. You knew that one was dangerous, and he took it to the house for a pick six. Portland in full command here on the road down in San Diego as they are up 24-0 after the extra point by John.
Oh, and I was talking so much about Portland's offense and how they can show that they can compete with the best of them. But now their defense is showing off a little bit too, getting its second pick of the game, now a pick six to add to their repertoire. I mean, we're barely into the second quarter, and Portland already has a 4-score lead.
John with another kickoff. And Owens with another return, trying to find a hole, and he'll make it out to the 24-yard line. Portland's batting 1,000 today, man. I mean, you got 2 offensive touchdowns, you've got a field goal, and you got a defensive score. I mean, every opportunity they have had at the football, it's been some sort of points on the board, and that's why San Diego is in the deficit that they're in right now.
And this is why you see Portland last season. They went 5-7. They have some fire in them. They just haven't been able to finish it.
Vasquez from the gun. Pressure coming in his face. Going to air it out. He's got a man over the top of the defense. Far sideline, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. San Diego's on the board just like that.
Talk about wiping the slate clean. That's exactly what they did right there. They said goodbye to all the errors. They said hello to the end zone. A huge play there for Connor Weston. He has such amazing big play ability, the speed. He's able to get behind the defenders, and there is nothing stopping him, nothing but daylight in front of him. The speed to get past these guys is so impressive. And that is what the Mavericks fans can get excited about. Get excited about this offense. They can still do it. They can show that they have this ability to score and go all the way down the field just like that.
Weston absolutely torched Chris Stack at the line there. A very impressive route by Connor Weston. And one play, one score just like that for San Diego. And they're right back in this ball game, pending the extra point by DuPont. Good snap, good hold, and it is up and through. 24-7 now your score as San Diego narrows the deficit, and they're going to need a little bit more action on the defensive end here. That pass defense needs to be tuned up a little bit maybe get the football back to their offense and get another big touchdown like that one.
And adding Kai Cash and Zach Holdorf in free agency really hope to bolster up that secondary. We've seen Kai Cash a little bit, but they definitely need to step up a little bit and bring some of that defensive presence to the field.
Fielded from about the 10, Morris is going to bring it out to the 29-yard line, and Portland will take over once again. And as I mentioned, on offense, they haven't missed. They've gotten 2 scores and 2 touchdowns, and a field goal. So 3 scores total in all offensive possessions. And San Diego is stuck trying to make some adjustments mid-game here. From the 29, Bruin under center. 7-step drop again. Good pocket. Going to throw it far sideline and incomplete. Good closing speed by the corner up top on Gene Valentine. And that brings up second down.
Yeah, nearly able to get a pick there. Ron Hoff, it looked like, in the coverage. Got a deflection, able to force the incompletion. And I think San Diego on defense, they played decently well. The issue is Portland on these third downs, they're able to still keep the drives alive and keep them moving, and that is just killing San Diego.
Bruin under center, no backs behind him. 5 wide, Bruin going to throw top of the screen there, and that's caught on an out route. Valentine again with a catch. This one for 7, and that'll be out to the 36-yard line where it was tackled out of bounds.
And here we go. We have a third down here for San Diego. This is their chance if they want to get their first defensive stop of this game. This is the time to do it, and this is exactly when you need to do it. After you get this big offensive score, your defense comes out and gets a stop, puts your offense right back on the field. Keep that momentum going.
Bruin, 7-step drop again, shuffling in the pocket. Pressure coming from behind, throws it into coverage and incomplete. He was looking for number 88, I believe, Alexander Jacobs, the tight end, but it was good coverage and good pressure by the front 3 of San Diego's defense, and that's their first stop of the ball game. They'll get the football off the punt.
Yeah, great job by the Maverick defense. They got some pressure to Bruin, made him scramble around, made him make a throw on the run, which we saw earlier wasn't necessarily his strong suit. Now here again, throwing on the run, not able to get it done, and again, great coverage by the the Maverick defenders.
Fair catch called for and made at the 29-yard line, and that is where the Mavericks will take over with 9:36 to go in the first half. Visit the SFL League website at simulationfl.net for info on how to create a player to join our community, the league, and the teams that play in it. There's a comprehensive history of the SFL. It's over 1,500 games, and it's thousands of players who have hit the virtual field. The Simulation Football League, 17th season strong. I formation for the Mavericks. Delayed handoff to Wells. Jalen Wells is going to push ahead to the San Diego 30 for a short gain of 2, as Portland's rush defense has been on point here this afternoon.
Yeah, definitely able to hold their own against Jalen Wells. Wells came over a couple seasons ago from Sioux Falls, had a great season there on that team that went to the championship. He was the fullback, now coming in as the running back and getting that lead role.
And he finally squeaks through the line, and he's got a good gain there as he makes it out to the 43-yard line. Plenty of yardage there on that run, and that was probably the best run of the afternoon so far.
That was some of the saw in Sioux Falls, and now here in San Diego, the ability to break through and, you know, tank all of these defenders coming his way. Had one on his back, able to shake him off, put a shoulder to the other, and then drove through 3 different Portland Fleet defenders, all to fight for these extra yards. Jalen Wells definitely putting in that time in the weight room.
Starting to see a little bit of a fire in the bellies of these Mavericks here as Vasquez will throw. He's going to get sandwiched back at the 37-yard line. He had absolutely no chance at the football there as Robert Brower, and I believe it was Derwin Nuevo on the other side that came and sandwiched him.
Yeah, there was a little fire from the Mavericks, but the Fleet are the firefighters, and Nuevo and Brower just go off the ends. Both of them beat their guys, and both of them, it looked like a race to the quarterback between those guys. They both get there at the same time, get a big sack, and now a big setback for San Diego on this drive.
Second and 16 now for the Mavericks. Vasquez will throw a little sidearm flare near sideline and incomplete. Good coverage by Derek Majors on the intended receiver, Connor Weston, who had the big touchdown grab just a drive ago.
Yeah, Majors again able to get up there, get that high point vertical, and make that play. Decent attempt from Vasquez. He put that ball in just about the right place, maybe a little bit higher because you do have to air it over that defender and lead your receiver a little bit more, but still a decent throw from Vasquez there.
Vasquez is going to have one more here on third down, and it's a short one towards the near sideline. Weston with his third catch of the afternoon, but that's going to be well short, and San Diego's going to have to punt.
And here's a chance for San Diego's special teams to step it up a little bit for the punter, Alex Domian, to try to pin Portland deep in their own territory. Portland has had the favor of good field position throughout most of this match, at least in the first quarter. They had pretty decent field position most of their drives. So if they can pin them back, that can be a good chance for them.
Not a great snap there as he gets it away. Little stutter step by Morris, and he'll make it out to the 22-yard line. And that's where Portland will take over once again. And if you're just joining us, man, you missed a heck of a first quarter there by Portland as they got 2 picks off of Javier Vasquez, 1 to the house by Shad Allen. And other than that, they've had 1 possession where they haven't gotten any points on the board offensively. San Diego with a deep bomb on a couple possessions ago for them here in the second. And that's where our score stands, 24-7, as Bruin looking to add more to it, but instead it's going to be picked off. San Diego still has it. It's a live ball, and it's going to be tackled down at the 38-yard line. And I couldn't tell who made the pick there. It looks like it was Ray Lenerl III playing center field there.
Yeah, beautiful catch, too. Goes up and gets it, and that is exactly what San Diego needed. They gave the ball over on the punt, and they just got it right back with some better field position at that as well. And that is exactly what they needed. Like I just said, they need to go down here. Now they need to go and capitalize on this pick. That is going to be key for them if they can turn this interception into something more.
And off to Jalen Wells. Good hole up the middle. Goes for about 9 out to the Portland 30-yard line. Tackle made by Shad Allen. As we get a look at the running back comparison so far, Ezekiel Love has been dominant on the ground.
Now, Portland may be getting a little bit too comfortable in this game right now. There are some cracks that are starting to show. The run game for San Diego starting to pick up a little bit, and the defense from San Diego starting to get some momentum.
Wells, patient, following his blocks, bounces it near sideline, close to the end zone. He'll get stopped at the Portland 4. First and goal for San Diego.
And a full head of steam from Jalen Wells. Has the patience right in the backfield to find the lane, get to the outside, and then it's just full steam ahead from there. Shakes off a defender and gets so close to the end zone, but not quite. But a great drive here from San Diego. Right after the pick, they're able to go after it, keep the ball moving, and now they're sitting pretty here, and they just need to put it in the end zone.
Well, the first quarter was all Portland. San Diego seizing momentum here in the second quarter. Delayed handoff to Wells, and Wells surges ahead but gets stopped right at the goal line. It's going to be second and goal as we approach the 6-minute mark in the first half.
That ref's not quite on Wells' side there. He looked like he almost had the push, but he just came up an inch short.
We'll see if they give it to him again on second and short here. Pitch play, that's going to be to Hoagland, and Hoagland gets buried in the backfield. Good run defense by Derek Majors, the corner, as he comes up and buries him in the backfield.
Yeah, Portland absolutely read that play like a book. They saw the fake earlier that worked so well for Hoagland, and they were able to see that look again and now counter that, get to Hoagland in the backfield, and a big loss. We'll see where they go now.
Third and goal. Vasquez slings it over the middle into the end zone. Touchdown, Mavericks. That
was exactly what San Diego needed to do on that drive. Though they give up a punt, they get the ball right back on the interception, and just a couple plays later, they're able to capitalize on that and turn that interception from just a turnover into points. And now this lead has been cut down significantly than the start of the half, and San Diego starting to climb the mountain that is this comeback.
We got a ball game now, folks. Nelson Rodriguez with the touchdown grab. And Javier Vasquez has 2 touchdowns and 2 picks to his resume, as Kevin Dupont has the extra point. And it's a 10-point disadvantage now for the Mavericks with 5:18 to go here in the first half.
San Diego fans, do not close your browser yet. There is still a ball game to be had here. San Diego still has quite a bit of fight left in them, and we're only in the second quarter. This game, you better strap in. It's going to be a roller coaster.
Fielded from about the 10. Good return past the 30 to the 34-yard line. And Leo Morris with another return. Sets him up at the 34 with 5:14 to go.
Yeah, solid return there for Portland. I mean, field position, that's an extra 10 yards for them to, that's an extra first down that they don't have to get there, and that can be huge. That can be the difference in the drive, resulting in a punt versus a field goal.
Just over 5 yards a clip for Ezekiel Love as he gets another carry here, slips the first defender, and then gets gang tackled for a gain of 5 at about the 39-yard line.
A solid piece of running from Love. We've seen the speed from him, and now he's able to tough out these yards in the trenches here, fight through the defenders for every single inch that they give you. Now with a 5-yard gain, you can look at these bigger plays. You can look at another run. That may be what they do here.
High formation, heavy set. Probably going to see Ezekiel Love, and we do. Trying to find a hole, and he does! He somehow breaks through the line of scrimmage and makes it out to the 47-yard line. That was one of the more patient runs I think I have seen in the Simulation Football League.
Yeah, great patience there from Love. It was a gang of about 4 dudes, and he's able to get past them and do the spin move exactly when he needed to. There was a defender just about to hit him in the chest there, gets the spin move, gets past 2 guys, and suddenly there's an open lane in front of him. I mean, I don't know how he was able to do that. That was very special.
A wild run there by Ezekiel Love to give him a fresh set of downs. Throws it over the middle, does O.J. Bruin, and he was looking for Warner, but an ill-advised pass hits the turf, brings up second down with 4:10 to go.
It looked like it could have been a bit of a miscommunication there between Bruin and Warner. I'm not sure what happened. The throw was a little bit past him, and it looked like Warner had turned for the ball, expecting it in his chest, where Bruin was trying to lead him a little bit. So just a little bit of a miscommunication there.
Heavy backfield for Portland here. Love with another carry. Good block in front of him, but a good open field tackle. Couldn't tell who zoomed in there and got him. I think it was 31, Kai Cash, with the tackle.
It looked like he was shot out of a cannon out of that backfield. He got those 3 yards so quickly, and Kai Cash just put him on his back, but that was so fast it looked like they didn't have time to move.
That sets up a 3rd and 7 for Portland. Bruin gonna throw it over the middle into coverage and incomplete. Could have easily been another pick, and that was the number 1 overall pick there, Leon Thunderman, that could have gotten the interception. Instead, he forces a punt by Portland.
Showing the star ability that he has, the potential that he showed in the minor leagues, and the reason why San Diego picked him with that 1st overall pick. He goes out for that big hero play for the interception, gets an amazing pass deflection, and forces the punt from Portland. A great play there by the 1st overall pick.
So San Diego with a very impressive opportunity here. Some time on the clock before the end of the first half. And if they could get a touchdown on the board, which is going to be a long way to pay dirt after that punt there, they can narrow the gap to just 3 points going into the half when it looked like things were pretty bleak at the end of the first quarter.
Looking at this game now versus the end of the first quarter, they're starkly different. San Diego has been able to build off of these small leads that they're getting, but now, like you said, this is a long way to go to the end zone. If they can do that, that proves to me that they have the ability to come back in this game.
Vasquez turnaround handoff to Jalen Wells. He gets hit and dropped at the 10-yard line for a gain of 5. We mentioned at the top of the broadcast, San Diego, in their short franchise history, has not gotten a win just yet, as they are 14 games into their existence. This game is number 15 for them. And, man, you can tell that they're looking for that dub here today, Ryan. And I'll get your thoughts on the other side of this play. As Vasquez is under center, 2 backs, that fake pitch play again, and Hoagland gets buried in the backfield this time for a loss of 2.
A great read there by Derek Majors, gets to the backfield and hits him. And you're exactly right. San Diego definitely looking for their much-needed win. The franchise needs to have a point where they can turn it around. And you can see the fire, you can see the fight from these Mavericks coming out in this second quarter when their backs are against the wall.
Vasquez the throw on 3rd and 7, complete over the middle, close to the 20-yard line, out across it to the 21. And that was a gutsy throw there to Ryan Owens, the 3rd season man here in San Diego.
And he fires a bullet right across the middle and finds it right in between that window of the linebacker and the corner in coverage. Mel Davis was right there, saw the ball, but just the throw was way too quick for him to even react to that ball. He was just able to react to the defender. Good play there by Vasquez. Keep the chains moving. They have some time, so they can take their time a little bit here.
Vasquez has rebounded nicely from that first quarter debacle as he hands off to Wells, and he gets buried in the backfield. That rush defense of Portland looking strong as we hit the 2-minute warning here in San Diego. 24 for Portland, 14 for San Diego. Simulation Football League presented by APM Music, live on YouTube. Two minutes to go here in San Diego. The hometown Mavericks with the football, trying to narrow the gap before going into the half. They got the opening kickoff, so Portland will get the second half kickoff. A very important possession here for the Mavericks. Wells with another carry, and again, does not get much on that play as Mel Davis with others knock him down right at the line. It's going to be 3rd and long.
Now, Portland has done very well preparing for San Diego's rush attack. They've been able to attack him at the line, get these stops before the line, and that has really put a dent in San Diego's offensive ability.
Vasquez forced the throw on 3rd down, steps up and is going to run it, and he'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Thought maybe he could pull the old okey doke there on Portland, but was not to be. Only a gain of 3, and that forces a 4th down.
Yeah, that's a good idea if it's 2nd down. I think on 3rd down, it's a very risky call there, especially when you have the linebacker right there. That's a good way to get a cheeky few yards, but not the 10 that they needed. So unfortunately, it's going to be a punt here for San Diego.
And no one wanting to burn a timeout yet as the clock continues to tick away. San Diego content with giving Portland as little time as possible here before the end of the first half. Morris with the return, and he'll make it out to the 42-yard line. 40 seconds to go here in the first half, and Portland and San Diego both with all 3 timeouts.
And Portland here, this could be a very big drive for them. If they can get some points on the board, they're going to get that second half kickoff. So they can get some points here and then build on that with even more points going into the next drive. That could put this game potentially out of reach for San Diego. So Portland, this could be a very big drive for them in this game.
And that's a great point, Ryan. As big of a possession as it was, just a possession to go for San Diego, still a big possession here for Portland. And Bruin goes down, held the football just a little bit too long as the pocket collapsed around him, and he jumps up and calls their first timeout with 35 to go.
Yeah, great play there by Duncan. And, you know, San Diego here recognizing that Portland could get another possession. They need to do all that they can here to stop Portland, just like they would any other drive, but this one feels a little bit more important. just because of the sense of urgency and the feeling that they have this play before the half, and they only have this chance to stop them.
David John, the star kicker for Portland. This would be a long attempt from this distance, and it's not getting any shorter as big number 98, Mufasa Kamau, gets in there and forces the hit on the quarterback in the incompletion, and it's still going to be 3rd and long for Portland.
And the defensive line for San Diego is stepped up in a huge way here today. They've been able to get a ton of pressure on Bruin and getting some big stops on Ezekiel Love in the backfield. They have definitely been a strong point of this San Diego defense today.
33 seconds frozen on the clock. Bruin to throw. Going to throw a short out route near sideline, which is caught. But for minimal gain by Benjamin Warner out to the 43-yard line. Did get out of bounds, so that'll stop the clock and won't put any pressure on the punter here. Well, I thought maybe we might, looking at the distance here, that would be a long field goal for David John. So we will see the punter here, Dominic Birkin, with his second punt. And with 30 seconds, San Diego with all 3 timeouts, they have a little bit of time to do something with this, maybe get 3 points on the board here as a fair catch is called for and made at the 23-yard line, 24 seconds to go.
That'd be a great idea for San Diego to go for the 3 points, go for the field goal. You only have 20 seconds, so you have to be quick. They're going to be airing it out, if I had to guess, some deep bombs here just to try to get into field goal range. And if those first couple attempts run out, they're going to run the ball, probably try to run this clock out. But here's a passing formation.
They had a deep shot to Connor Weston for their first touchdown of the game earlier on in the quarter. Could we see more here as Vasquez will throw? Going to sidearm it over the middle. That's caught. Close to the 32-yard line. That's where they're going to spot it. 2nd and 2. Clock continues to roll. Vasquez takes the snap again, going to throw it over the middle again, and this time it falls to the turf and incomplete, but with 7 seconds to go, not really a whole lot of options here from where they're standing.
A bit of an error. Maybe should have called the timeout after that last completion. Then you have some more time to get up to the line. Now it's looking a bit rougher. They're going to have to go for a big play just to try to get into field goal range. And then they have to call a timeout immediately in order to get that field goal.
Yeah, it's going to need to be quick for sure. We'll see if they can do it. Instead, it's going to be a Jalen Wells handoff, and that's going to be first down yardage. A little bit more scoochy room there out to the 37-yard line on a fresh set of downs, but I still think we're outside of Hail Mary range.
Yeah, I think that's their only bet would be the Hail Mary, but it wouldn't go all the way to the end zone, so it's a tough throw for Vasquez either way. We'll see what they want to do. They may just be content with running the ball and letting Portland have this ball going into the next half. We'll see what they end up doing here. I think a Hail Mary is the right play.
So no Hail Mary formation. Might just see a Wells handoff to round out the clock, which is what we're going to get. Good stiff arm there, and he'll get a couple yards out to the 39-yard line as the clock hits triple zeros. And Portland will go into the locker room with a 10-point advantage on the road against the San Diego Mavericks here in sunny San Diego. Great first half of football as the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music hits the half for the Sunday Spotlight, and we get a look at the first half stats and highlights. What jumps out at you, Ryan?
I mean, the passing yards from Portland. I think everyone sees Portland as this predominantly rushing team. You have Ezekiel Love. He's one of the best running backs in the league, and he's shown it time and time again on the field. And I think the biggest surprise here has been Portland coming out with this passing game and giving Bruin the shot to let his arm loose, find those receivers, find those big plays. And I think this is working really well for them. I think they found a very good balance between throwing and running, so their running isn't so predictable, because if you have just the one trick, you're going to be the one trick pony. Everyone's going to plan for the run, and they're going to be able to beat you every time. If you give these plays to Bruin, you give him this chance to show what he can do, and you can maybe build your team around that. You can have this high power offense with the defense that's played pretty well. They've done well in coverage. They've held San Diego to just 14 points. And I think this is a really good recipe for them so far. It's a team that coming in, they're 0-2. They had a big shootout against Baltimore, and they've needed to prove themselves in this game, and I think they've done just that. They've shown the power of their offense.
And both these teams, with tough losses, honestly, in the first 2 weeks of play. Portland going up against two 2-0 teams in Houston and Baltimore, respectively, in weeks 1 and 2. And then San Diego losing to Sioux Falls. They put up a little bit of a battle towards the end in week 1 on the road in South Dakota. And then they also played Houston at home here in San Diego and lost by 5 points. So both these teams are looking to rebound here. San Diego, we've mentioned it ad nauseum at this point, but, they're looking for their first franchise win. I think this is probably the best chance that they have to do it. Portland still trying to find their footing in their third season of play here in the Simulation Football League. I thought with the season preview, this might be the year that they are able to turn it around and actually get themselves into the playoffs. It's looked very tough for them so far in season 17 as we get a look at beautiful Robert Hansen Field at Lee Archer Stadium here in San Diego as the Mavericks will kick off to the Fleet to start the second half.
Yeah, and I think you're right about Portland. I think this looks like the season where they can start to get that foothold back into this league. We just need to see it put to the paper.
So DuPont boots the ball down the field here, and Morris will get another return, bounces it to the outside, and he's going to get knocked down right at around the 30-yard line. Looked like he could have possibly broke that one, but it was all for naught, unfortunately for him. And O.J. Bruin has looked very good through the air here today. No touchdowns on the board for him in the first half. Ezekiel Love with a couple touchdowns rushing for him. And it's been a very balanced attack for the Fleet here as they come out for their first possession in the second half. Bruin will throw. He's going to air it out. That's a duck, and that's picked off. San Diego picked off the dangerous pass from the start, and I think Bruin's arm was hit as it was going forward, and that enabled Ray Lenerl III to get his second pick of the afternoon.
I think you could be right, or the ball got tipped. Something happened. There was some pressure on Bruin as well, but that ball came out wobbly a little bit, and they were able to capitalize. And San Diego, even though the scoreboard doesn't reflect it, they fully have the momentum right here. They've got 14 unanswered in the second quarter, and now they're starting off the third quarter with a pick. This is where this team can really turn it around in this game. In Portland, they may have been caught asleep at the wheel here.
Great point, Ryan. Second quarter was all San Diego, and the Mavericks have firm control here early on in the third quarter. Tip drill and incomplete for Portland as Gary Clem saw the football right there. He is mad at himself that he wasn't able to complete the tip drill pick.
Yeah, Mel Davis there in coverage gets the bat, and it looks like he hit it right to Gary Clem, right to his linebacking buddy. Clem didn't quite have the hands able to catch that, and he wishes he could have that one back for sure.
Offset back, that's going to be Jalen Wells. Vasquez is going to throw over the middle into traffic and incomplete. And that is Mel Davis once again, as he's been all over the football field here for this first possession in the second half for San Diego.
Yeah, first throw on the close side, now on the far side of the field. That time saw right where the ball was going, able to jump out in coverage, bat the ball, and then hit the receiver right at the same time. Great play there by Mel Davis, forcing 2 incompletions in a row.
Brings up 3rd and 10 for San Diego. From the gun, 4 wideout split across the formation. Wells is sidecar left for Vasquez. He takes a snap, pump fakes, pressure in his face, throws a wobbler, and that's incomplete. Bit of an overthrow there as the pressure was coming in his face, and that's going to be a 3 and out for San Diego.
Yeah, a bit too much heat on that throw there from Vasquez. The pressure probably got to him, and he throws just a bit wide, a bit over him. And now we're going to see a punt here. This is another chance to put Portland back in some bad field position. It's about the same distance, though. We'll see where it goes.
We'll see where the punt lands for Domion here. Morris will field it just shy of the 20-yard line, and he'll bring it out to the Portland 24, where the Fleet will take over for the next possession. So that's certainly not how they wanted to start things off, Portland, on their opening possession of the first half. But no harm, no foul, and they get the football right back here.
And that's what I was saying earlier. It's so important to convert these, interceptions, these opportunities that you're given into points. San Diego may not get another chance like that again in this quarter. You never know, but that was definitely a missed opportunity, I feel, for San Diego.
10 points off the turnovers, a difference in this ball game, and Ezekiel Love is a difference in this ball game as he quickly gets into San Diego territory right off the bat. A big rumble there to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, and that's a bit of a jolt of electricity there in the Fleet offense. That's what they needed to go down this field, get this quarter restarted, really. They had a rough go of it in the second quarter. San Diego really was able to get a foothold back in this game when they were down 24-0, when they were in a spot where they shouldn't have been able to come back. They were able to make this deficit a little bit less, and now Portland able to claw their way into the driver's seat.
Love this time gets buried in the backfield. San Diego's having no more of that as Denzel Maverick gets in there and makes the stop for a loss of 4.
Yeah, those edge rushers not getting burnt again. Maverick makes up for the last play, able to get that stop in the backfield. And we'll see if they continue to go with the run here during this drive or they switch it up and go back to Bruin in the air.
High formation for Portland on this 2nd and 14. Screen pass over to Ezekiel Love, and that's a gain of a couple at the San Diego 49-yard line. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for links to apparel from Sector 6, the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League, and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. Sector 6 features replica team jerseys and completely customized jackets, flags, t-shirts, and more. Get the gear the fans wear with Sector 6, 97 Sports Promotions, and the SFL. As that ball falls incomplete, it was a dangerous pass by O.J. Bruin looking for Valentine over the middle. There were 3 gray jerseys in the vicinity, and he's lucky that falls and hits the turf.
And that's kind of what Portland's been doing a lot on third down. They're going for these big, chunk plays where they're trying to get that first down out of desperation. It's worked for them a lot during this game, but now San Diego becoming a little bit wiser to it.
Birkin with another punt. Going to try and pin the Mavericks back deep. Fair catch is called for and made by Owens, just shy of the 15. Mark him down at the 14-yard line.
Rough field position for San Diego. Not terrible, but not what you want. They got quite a distance here to go. And back on offense, Vasquez needs to get some completion, stop making errant throws that are into coverage, and maybe rely on the run a little bit.
We'll see if Portland allows them to rely on the run, but this is a good pass by Vasquez as he finds the seam in the defense. Number 86, big tight end Optimus Klein, his 10th season in the Simulation Football League, makes a big catch there.
Yeah, some of the most reliable hands in the league as well at tight end there, and that's exactly what they needed to do. I was wrong a little bit. Maybe not go to the run, but go back to Vasquez. And those are the kind of throws that he needs to make. Out of coverage, leading your defenders a little bit, and giving them the space that they need.
It looks like they're going to go back to the passing attack here with 4 wide, 3 towards the top of the formation, far sideline. Vasquez will go there, and he's got a good chunk of about 6 yards out to the 39-yard line, as this time the catch was made by Liam Hammer, the former Chicago Wildcat.
Yeah, nice play on first down. That's exactly what you want to do. Get some yardage going. Get a short second down. This opens you up. You can throw the ball a lot more. You can maybe take a deep shot here. You have a little bit more room to work with.
Single back formation, 3 wide. Wells with the carry, and Portland was ready for him there as they knock him down in the backfield. Wells still averaging just over 4 yards a clip, which is a pretty good day if you ask me. Sets up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, not bad production from Wells. Not exactly doing the most here, getting some good runs every now and then, but Portland has been wiser to a lot of them.
Big 3rd and 5 for San Diego. Pressure coming. Vasquez finds his man out across midfield to the 44-yard line of Portland. And they move into Fleet territory with another big catch by the tight end, Optimus Klein.
Yeah, and yet another good throw. That time had some pressure coming, and it looked like the exact same play. Bit different coverage by the defense. But either way, they get the job done. They get the chains moving. And now they're in Portland territory, threatening to score here. San Diego, they need to get on the board and cut this deficit even more.
Wells with the carry, and he's going to bring it out to the 41-yard line of Portland for a short gain of 3. Visit the SFL's YouTube channel at youtube.com/SimulationFL for an archive of every game, every draft, every moment you might have missed since the Simulation Football League got its start back in 2013. SFL YouTube features top 10 plays of the week, archived people behind players segments, and all the major milestones in league history. Be sure to check that out. You'll find this game on that YouTube channel there. Wells gets a handoff on 2nd and 7, and again, the hole closes quite quickly for him as he's not able to get any positive yardage. That brings up 3rd and medium.
It seems like every other run for Jalen Wells has been a pretty decent run, 4 yards, 5 yards, 9 yards. And then the other one is stopped in the backfield, stopped right at the line.
Vasquez gonna air it out. He's got his man. 1st down yardage into the SFL red zone we go. Down to the Portland 17-yard line. What a throw by the 3rd-year man.
Yeah, Vasquez is looking his best this game on this drive right now. This is the drive that he can cement himself and get this win for San Diego, their long-awaited win that they've needed for this franchise. And Vasquez is looking to do it right here in this game right now.
Liam Hammer with the catch over the middle. Gives his team a fresh set of downs, moves the chains. Vasquez looking to get more, but Portland was ready for him there in the backfield as Stefan Forge gets in there. No, excuse me, I'm looking at the run roster. Forgive me. Derwin Nuevo from the end there.
Yeah, he was the leader in sacks last season in season 16, and now coming up with a big one here, putting San Diego way back 8 yards behind the original line of scrimmage, and this is going to be a tough hole to climb out of.
Vasquez gonna air it out, and it's picked off. Portland with the tip drilled near their own end zone, and that is the 3rd pick that they have gotten off of Vasquez this afternoon. This time Chris Stack gets in there and makes it.
And on this drive, Vasquez had so many great throws, and that was looking like it was going to be another one. Just needed to be a couple inches taller so Connor Weston could get it, but instead the Fleet defender bats it around, and Chris Stack gets the interception. And that's a huge turning point for Portland. They are able to stop this drive for San Diego that would definitely have resulted in points, either 3 or 7.
Yeah, that's a crusher there as we see our first penalty marker on the field here today. Ezekiel Love with a good run, but something tells me this might be coming back. We'll see what the call is.
Yeah, it was very early on. It could be a hold. We'll see what they call.
And looks like we're going to get an offensive holding as San Diego opts to back him up. And that's going to bring up a 2nd and long for Portland. Excuse me, 1st and long for Portland.
Yeah, the center getting a hold there at the beginning of the play, and that's going to be a big setback for them. Though it is only half the distance to the goal, it erases that big run that Ezekiel Love just had for plus 15 yards.
It also backs them up close to their own goal line. Ezekiel Love doesn't care as he's able to give his team some breathing room. A good chunk of 11 brings up 2nd and short.
Yeah, nearing 100 yards on this game. Ezekiel Love just seems to, every time that he gets the ball, it seems like he's able to find this open space, find these big chunk plays. He got 11 yards on that one. Any other down, that would have been a 1st down for him. And just solid running from Love, like always.
San Diego stacking the box. They got 6 in there, and Love makes mincemeat of him. He bounces it to the outside. He's got some speed. He avoids the defender. No one is going to catch him. He's got one man to beat. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Portland. What a run by Ezekiel Love.
I have chills. That was amazing. That was such an impressive run from Ezekiel Love. We see why he is the star of this team, why he is one of the best backs in the league. We've seen it multiple times in this game, his ability to find this open space and the burst of speed. That's his 3rd touchdown of the game. It is the Ezekiel Love show here today in San Diego, and that one was huge. And that, not the dagger, but it is close. It's starting to put the nails on the coffin, and they're starting to prepare the frame of the coffin for San Diego Lions.
David John adds the extra point. Ezekiel Love has made a show this afternoon as he puts the Portland Fleet back up on top by 17 over the San Diego Mavericks. And just when you thought San Diego might crawl back into this one, Portland takes advantage of another turnover and gets more points on the board, and that has been the story of the afternoon.
Yeah, and that is an absolute crusher for San Diego, getting their pick, getting all the way down the field nearly to the end zone, only to be picked off and then scored on again. It's a real devastating blow.
Return out to the 26-yard line by Owens. And with 3:36 to go in the third, San Diego will set up shop once again. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and the world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Vasquez over the middle and incomplete. He was trying to float it to an open man behind the defense, but the outstretched fingertips of the Fleet defender is able to knock it down.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what Majors had for breakfast this morning, but it definitely had a lot of butter in it because it's still all over his hands. He wasn't quite able to pull that one in, and that could have been a huge interception. That could have been the dagger if that was picked off. But it falls to the turf. Vasquez can take a sigh of relief, take that one back, and now you have a 2nd and 10 here. Reset and get your mind back in the game.
An impressive play by Bob Funk, the free safety, to just barely get his fingertips on that football and force the incompletion as Hoagland gets another carry from the fullback spot. And this Portland rush defense has been up to the task here today. Wells has had a good game, not a great game, and that Fleet defense is a big reason why.
Yeah, Wells has definitely been able to make some room for himself, get some good yardage, but Portland has been all over him as well.
3rd down, Vasquez over the middle and incomplete. He threw it into traffic once again, and once again, big number 44, Bob Funk, is able to bat the football down, forces the 3 and out for San Diego.
Yeah, and so much great secondary play from Portland this game. Shawn Allen has had a great game. Bob Funk just with 2 pass deflections on that drive alone. Derek Majors, Chris Stack, everybody has seemingly jumped in here, helped out, made a really great play, and that has led to the scoreboard. And what we see right here is another punt from San Diego. That is exactly why this coverage and this defense from Portland has been outstanding today.
Morris fields the punt and gets a couple of yards out to the Portland 39-yard line where he's knocked down there. And that is where the Fleet will take over for another possession. It's gone back and forth, but man, the scoreboard doesn't really say a whole lot as far as that goes. Portland with a commanding first quarter lead over the Mavericks. San Diego bounces back and has a very impressive second quarter. I would say a little bit better than the Portland second quarter. And now Portland back in control here, up by 17 as Bruin gets hit as he's thrown, and it falls incomplete. Good pressure made by Slayer.
Yeah, and this game has been so back and forth. I think of the defensive performances from San Diego on top of Portland's success, it has been back and forth. Portland has been able to find these holes, but these last 2 quarters, San Diego's defense has really stepped up. The defensive line has been able to create a lot of pressure, get some sacks, get some stops, and really, prevent this Portland Fleet from moving much further than they've made it.
Offset eye, Ezekiel Love. He's had a big day, and he's adding more. 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Ezekiel Love. Just stop it. Stop it.
He is bullying the Mavericks right now. I mean, in their home stadium, while their family's there, grandma's watching it on the TV, and he is just bullying them to their face, and it is rough to watch. Ezekiel Love with his 4th touchdown, that one going over 50 yards, and the speed from Ezekiel Love. Once he gets to the outside, he is virtually unstoppable. No one on San Diego has been able to catch up to him, really. I thought he was going to be down at the 25-30 yard line there, but then he puts it into a 3rd, 4th, 5th gear there at the end, gets a ton of speed, takes it all the way to the end zone, and Love is just such an amazing running back, probably one of the fastest men alive.
David John adds another extra point here to make it a 24-point advantage as Portland is taking full advantage on the road of the San Diego Mavericks. And, man, when you thought that San Diego was starting to crawl back and make this a football game towards the end of the first half, Portland went into the locker room and was like, nah, that ain't happening.
Just give them a little bit, get their hopes up a little bit, just so we can crush them even more in the 3rd quarter. Just 2 scores very quickly back to back off of some takeaways as well. And really a great 3rd quarter here for Portland. They're able to add so much onto their lead and so much much more of an exclamation point to this game. I think there were some points where I looked at it and I was like, well, Portland, they had a great 1st quarter, but they really lost it in the 2nd quarter, and if they weren't able to return to the form we saw in the 1st quarter, it may have been rough, but I think this is an amazing comeback, and they're still able to stave off what San Diego's doing.
San Diego's got to get their foot on the gas, and in a hurry. Vasquez is going to make it happen right away as he finds Connor Weston, who's over the century mark here this afternoon. 4 catches, a touchdown, and a $107.
Yeah, and Weston's a big bright spot in this offense for me. I think there are some great weapons on the Mavericks. They have Optimus Klein, Connor Weston. I think Jalen Wells is a great back as well. So they definitely have these pieces on offense. They have these veterans that have shown the ability that they can take over and shine, but it just hasn't been able to come together for San Diego yet.
Vasquez again will throw. He's going to throw far side. That's caught in coverage amongst 3 Portland Fleet defenders. And big number 83, Connor Weston, once again, high points the football and makes another clutch catch for the San Diego Mavericks.
Yeah, and the ability from Weston. I mean, that is so impressive to see a play with 3-4 Portland jerseys around it, and he's able to get up there, get above all of them, and get that ball out of the air.
I think San Diego appreciates the brevity of the situation here as they're trying to get their foot on the gas and in a hurry, as Wells will get the swing pass coming out of the backfield for a short gain of 2.
Connor Weston really putting on this show today. You know, he used to be a Portland Fleet. His first season as a rookie, he played for the Fleet, and they weren't able to quite get their foothold. And I think now that he's playing against them, he's showing them a bit of what they've missed out on him as a receiver.
Vasquez, 2nd and 8. Going to give Wells the handoff here, finding some room, and that's going to be a gain of 5 out to the Portland 24-yard line as we approach the 60-second mark here in the 3rd quarter of play.
And that's an example of a run why, you know, we see Jalen Wells get stopped, but it's still not like they're having a bad game. Wells still able to find a lot of room, find these great runs where they're still able to get good yardage out of it.
Vasquez, pressure in his face, going to throw it into coverage, and it's intercepted. You got to be kidding me. What an interception made on the play. And that was Derek Majors with his 2nd pick of the afternoon. That was a clutch one there.
Yeah, that was impressive. That looked like that was going to be all Optimus Klein's ball, and then it hit off of Majors' shoulder pad. He's able to just keep it there, keep his hands around the ball. and fight the big Optimus Klein for that ball, and he comes out on top. And Portland, yet again, when San Diego is in scoring range, when they're starting to knock on the door, they get the pick, they get the takeaway, and they're in the driver's seat again.
Bruin from his own end zone, going to throw it near sideline, and that's caught by Valentine. As we get a look at the leading receivers for each club, Valentine with 6 catches, 55 yards. Weston with over 100 yards, as we mentioned. But the story here today has been this Portland defense just putting the dagger in the hearts of the Mavericks and their fans here at home today. They've had 2 drives, very productive drives, that Portland has halted via the interception. Bruin's going to throw it quickly over the middle. He found his man right away, and that was first down yardage once again to Valentine as he moves across quickly to the 32-yard line. Man, that's 28 yards in a hurry as we are getting close to the end of the third quarter here, Ryan.
Yeah, Bruin showing the ability to make these big plays through the air, and Portland showing off their offensive ability again.
And that will be the end of the third quarter. Everybody get your 4s and your 86s up in the chat. One more quarter to play, and Portland with a commanding lead and the football coming up in the fourth. Simulation Football League action presented by APM Music. One more quarter, and it's been all Fleet. It was a little back and forth there, but Portland has taken full control of this ball game here in the third quarter. And now into the fourth quarter as Ezekiel Love has just put the team on his back here in the second half as he makes something out of nothing, and he makes a first down out of a tackle for loss. How did he do that?
A bit of Darren Sharper in him, a bit of Marshawn Lynch, and you got Ezekiel Love just plowing through defenders, putting a shoulder in one, breaking out of what seemed like an impossible tackle to break, and now it's going to be a challenge from San Diego.
Yeah, the Mavericks not content with the spot of the football. I think we're just kind of hashing hairs here as we do get a look under the hood. I thought he got enough to get the first. Maybe he was just shy there with that. Usually with the second or third effort, you get the yards you needed. But it's looking like Ezekiel Love might be short here, so that might be a good challenge by Javier Vasquez.
I think you're right. It looked like he could have had it, but his body was turned the wrong way, and the ball was on the other side of the line. And that's how it's going to go. San Diego gets the ruling that they wanted, and a good challenge there from San Diego, able to spot that call was made wrong, and able to rob a first down from Portland.
A minor victory here. San Diego with 14 unanswered in the second, and Portland answers right back with another 14 unanswered as they're up by 24 here. Bruin, second and short, going to air one out, and that's one's picked off. It was an errant throw as he got hit in the backfield, and San Diego takes advantage and picks the football off. This one was made by Zach Holdorf, and we'll see if the Mavericks on offense can do anything with it.
And I think that's very interesting because I'm pretty sure, in my opinion, the challenge actually made that happen. On second down, you often see teams air out the ball. That time, that was a second and inches, so they knew they would have had it on third down. So they decided to go for a deep play, go for the end zone, and it results in the interception. So a bit of coaching there coming into display, and San Diego getting the turnover because of it.
Bit of gamesmanship between these two ball clubs here as Vasquez is going to throw it top of the formation to the far sideline, and a sliding catch made by Owens for a gain of 5.
Yeah, and I don't think it can be understated what these defenses have been doing. Like you mentioned earlier, the big interceptions and the big scores from those interceptions. If those interceptions in those key spots don't happen, it's a 28-38 ball game right now.
Hand off to Wells, patiently bounces it to the outside. He'll get first down yardage, and that'll be out to the San Diego 48-yard line, close to midfield. Coverage of the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports returns after the convention in Week 4, Saturday, August 14th. Charleston hosts rival Carolina, followed by a dramatic playoff rematch between defending champ Denver and Arizona. Stay tuned to the SFL social media channels and league website for updated kickoff times. Vasquez gives the ball to Wells once again, and he gets tattooed right at the line of scrimmage. That's Mel Davis. He's going to hit you in the mouth every time.
Mel Davis having a fantastic game here today. The run stuffing has been amazing from him, and the pass coverage has been great. Mel Davis with those 2 pass deflections earlier, if you remember, and he's just been all over the field making the plays when they need to be done.
Vasquez this time is going to throw, sidearms it over the middle of the field for first down yardage, out across to the Portland 37-yard line as Owens makes another reception, and we creep inside of the 9-minute mark to go here in the final quarter of play.
Yeah, and that play has been so effective for San Diego, going across the middle and just getting these receivers in between the zones when they are getting that man coverage like that, and then finding the space between the linebackers where you can fit that ball. It's a really good placement there from Vasquez, and we see a little bit of the reason why he is sticking around, why he has been good in this league.
Vasquez, good pocket, gonna air it out, tried to one-handed, but it falls to the turf, incomplete. He had a man out there, but again, great coverage by these Portland Fleet defenders as Weston was back behind most of the defense and just couldn't quite reel that one in. Bob Funkin coverage.
Yeah, really tough play because that was such good coverage. I mean, I think Vasquez put that ball in the right spot. That's where Weston wanted it. But there was nothing that they could even do. That throw couldn't have been better. Weston was in the right spot, but it was just great defense from Portland.
Second down, Mavericks want to pass once again. 3 wide receivers towards the near sideline, bottom of the formation. Vasquez quickly throws it over the middle, and he has first down yardage out to the 23-yard line. Move those chains.
Yeah, good offensive drive here from San Diego. They're still able to get the ball down the field. Vasquez going across the middle very effectively here to these receivers. This time hitting the big Optimus Klein again up the middle on this tight end route. Kind of that slant on that side of the field is where Optimus Klein has been working a lot today, and they're able to move the chains again.
Wells with the carry, somehow able to bust through the line of scrimmage to get first down yardage out to the Portland 12-yard line. Great carry by Jalen Wells.
What a great run, and a bit of respect there from Shad Allen on that run. He saw what that took, able to find that lane to the outside and then run through Allen and get those extra 4 yards after the hit. Great run there from Jalen Wells, and a flash of greatness is what we've been seeing a lot of from Jalen Wells today.
Vasquez, passing formation, trips towards the top of the formation, far sideline. Vasquez going to throw it over the middle. Going the wrong way is the receiver, and he's only going to get 1 yard out of it as Optimus Klein was trying to find some space in the middle of the football field, and only a gain of 1.
Yeah, rare misstep there from Klein. He had some receivers around him, so he was trying to make a move to get around them, but that just ultimately resulted in more Portland Fleet defenders around him, and they're able to swarm him, and it's only a gain of 1.
Approaching 7 minutes to go here in the ball game. Vasquez gonna air it out, and that's caught. Touchdown, corner of the end zone. What a throw and catch, as that was Owens that made the catch in traffic to the corner of the end zone. That was a rainbow ball that Javier Vasquez threw.
He threw it sidearm too. That's got to be one of the cleanest sidearm corner end zone passes I've ever seen. Gets it right in the perfect spot. I saw that ball between the 2 defenders. I was like, oh no, Vasquez again. But no, it was perfect. Right over the defender's head, right in front of the other one, perfectly in Owens' hands. And that was an amazing throw by Vasquez to cap off the drive and get themselves some points on the board here in the 4th quarter.
Extra point by DuPont makes this a 17-point advantage for Portland with just over 7 minutes to go. And a little bit of life being breathed into these Mavericks here at home. Far from over, but they've still got some work to do as well.
We've seen drives like that, but they ended in the interceptions from Portland, from the Fleet. Right at the goal line, they were able to get 2 interceptions. If those are turned into touchdowns, then we're looking at a 35-38 ball game. This would be much closer if not for those 2 picks that Portland had. When San Diego was driving, they were taking it down to the end zone, and they were having these successful offensive drives.
And again, I don't think this is a Javier Vasquez conversation. I think this is a Portland defense conversation, because the defensive backfield for the Fleet have been absolutely impressive here today, and they have been forcing those interceptions. It has not been bad decisions by Vasquez really at all. And Portland, they played a complete ball game to this point, and Ezekiel Love has been pouring it on himself as he gets a chunk of 9 out to the 38.
I think you're exactly right. Portland, they've just been absolute ball hawks out there. They've got a couple on the tip drill. They've just been able to get their hands on every single throw, it seems like. And they're making it so hard for San Diego to get these yardage. And that is not a Vasquez thing. That's not a placement thing. That is a Portland Fleet ball hawk mentality thing.
Zeke with another carry, bounces it to the outside, and will again move the sticks out to the Portland 44. He is having a heck of a ball game, and he knows it.
Oh, yeah, and he keeps adding on to it, keeps getting these big 5-yard runs, 7-yard runs, heck, even 50, 40, 50, 60, 70-yard runs added onto it. Love is having an amazing game.
Well, not to be on that one, as San Diego stuffs him in the backfield. The Mavericks can only take so much on defense, man.
Yeah, a bit of a caster curse there for Love. And the Mavericks, like you said, they can only take so much. They've been doing a good job of getting those stops in the backfield. It's sometimes they've been getting burned, sometimes they've been getting big TFLs. It's really back and forth for them.
And Love has been absolutely masterful on some of these runs, especially the blocking in front, as Bruin throws a tight window there and has completed it to Art Vandelay along the sidelines for some toe drag swag there. And Ron Hoff was in coverage and a big hit on the play as well.
Yeah, good throw, good catch, and the big hit. Can't really ask for more as a Portland fan on that second down. Now you have a 3rd and 1 here. You have Old Reliable. We'll see if they go to Ezekiel Love here.
A very impressive game plan by the Fleet front office. Has been a great balance of pass and run. Bruin throws another one into coverage, though, and that's picked off as he was looking for his big tight end, Nelson Lozano Jr., but he got crunched right as he let the football go, and San Diego has more life here.
Yeah, that had to have been the error there. It looked like it was the makings of a good play, but the defender there, Zach Holdorf, just beats his man, outruns Lozano to the ball, and he's able to pick up the interception for the Mavericks. And both of these secondaries really have been having outstanding games. Mavericks have gotten quite a few picks. Portland has had quite a few picks. And, I mean, both of the defenses all around, even though it's a high-scoring game, I feel like both of the defenses have made some amazing plays.
I think the story is that Portland's offense has taken advantage of these turnovers more than San Diego has, as the Mavericks complete a 7-yard pass to Connor Weston out to the 27-yard line. And this is the big possession here for San Diego. They got to get 7 on the board, and they got to do it fairly quickly.
Yeah, there's definitely still a chance in here. We've seen crazier things happen in the SFL. They can go down, get a touchdown here. They still have all 3 timeouts, so they've got some time to work with. They need to get moving, though.
First down out to the 32. They recognize that they need to hurry up, and they go into the no-huddle formation. Vasquez quickly takes the snap. He's going to check it down way back in the backfield, barely able to make it back up to the line of scrimmage. This is not a great formation to go no-huddle in, Ryan.
Yeah, they need some more receivers on the outside and get rid of the fullback. It's tough for them to make some big plays here.
Vasquez into traffic and incomplete. A big hit there on the pass attempt, and probably a blessing in disguise as the incompletion forces them to huddle up with 4:21 to go in the ball game.
Yeah, they definitely needed to get out of that formation. The fullback, while a great position and very underrated, is not good for those big plays where you want a lot of open guys, you want a lot of guys that can create space, and this is more of the formation that you want to see, 4 receivers and a tight end.
Gotta agree. 3 towards the bottom of the formation. Vasquez in the gun, takes the snap, quickly throws it over the middle, and incomplete. Was looking for Ryan Owens, number 10, who had catch in the corner of the end zone earlier in the quarter, and that brings up 4th down. I don't know if they want to go for it here yet. I would, but what do you think, Ryan?
I think that's the right call, too. I think you definitely go for it. It's, one of those situations where you're down this much, you've got to make something happen, and this drive, if you don't get points, you're done. So you got to go for it.
Vasquez over the middle, short of the line to gain, and Portland will get the turnover on downs as Mel Davis, the anchor of this Fleet defense, forces the turnover on downs, and Portland will get the football back.
Yeah, he has the most SFL experience, and he was able to see that play coming from a mile away in the perfect spot, lined up right on the line to gain, making so all of those plays that they wanted to do exactly like the one they called, where a play up the middle, if they want to get right at the line, he's going to be there to stop him. He did exactly that and made the perfect play for the linebacker to make on that play right there.
So great field position here for the Fleet on offense as they set up at the San Diego 39. Love trying to do his best to keep his legs moving, and he'll get a good gain of 5 out to the 34-yard line. That'll keep the clock moving as he's getting close to the 3-century mark with 270 on the board. Ezekiel Love, good grief.
Yeah, they're up by 17, but he's not done yet. He wants to increase this lead and increase that stat count. Go for a career game here, Love. Have a day. Go wild. I mean, why not? You have to run the ball anyway. You need to run out the clock. Might as well look good doing it.
Bruin under center is letting the play clock bleed dry, milking the game clock as well as Love gets buried in the backfield by a host of Mavericks, a fleet of Mavericks, you could say. Just to combine the two mascots, why not?
Of course. I mean, they've been, we're not in Atlanta, but they've been like a swarm as well on that defensive line, getting to Ezekiel Love in the backfield. And it seems like if they haven't been able to hit him in the backfield, Love will go for a mile. So they've been doing some good contain there.
Bonus points to Ryan Caudill for incorporating other SFL franchises into the ballgame.
Hey, it's about the glory of the broadcast, huh?
Bruin, 7-step drop. Pressure coming. He's going to air it out, and that's caught. Touchdown, Nelson Lozano Jr., and that'll just about do it here in San Diego.
They have 44 points, but that's the first touchdown of the game for O.J. Bruin, finally connecting through the air to Lozano. And you've seen these big plays. They've been going for big throw plays, and it was bound for one of them to work out. And there it is. Lozano gets on the board for a touchdown as well, and Portland just adding on to the carnage here today.
You think they had a little battle on the sideline there, Ezekiel Love and O.J. Bruin, like, hey, are you going to get on the board, big guy? Like, are you guys going to make that happen?
He said, I'll get on the board, trust me, and goes for the deep bomb. And, oh, my goodness, Ezekiel Love, he's still laughing, though. I think he's still got the last laugh looking at that final stat line.
Oh, he can laugh all the way to the bank with over 270 on the ground here today. What a performance by Ezekiel Love and the Portland Fleet. A great game plan put together by their front office, and they are cruising to their first win of Season 17. Another return by Owens. Good spin move there, and he'll make it out to the 28-yard line. Coverage of the Simulation Football League on For the Fans returns after the convention in Week 4, Sunday, August 15th. It's an epic slate featuring Brian Craven, Doug Day, and Cameron Collier of the Louisiana Revolution welcoming their old team Lone Star down to the Bayou, plus the high-flying DC Dragons in a rematch of last season's overtime thriller with the Mexico City Aztecs. Stay tuned to the SFL social media channels, and league website for updated kickoff times. Vasquez, short pass coming out of the backfield. That's going to be complete for a minimal gain. 2nd and 9, going no huddle.
I need to try to make up some points. At this point, it's just trying to pad the stats a little bit.
Yeah, keep it respectable here as Vasquez, from his own little window there in the pocket, is able to complete it as the clock ticks closer and closer to 2 minutes. Vasquez again will throw. Sidearm action out to the far sideline, and that falls incomplete. 4th down with 2:11 frozen on the clock. And San Diego probably going to keep the offense out on the field just to get some extra reps in and some needed momentum going into week 4.
Yeah, definitely kind of want to find out what you can do, what you can't do. I think if you're losing in a game, I think the last drive is a really good chance to just try something new. Pull a play out of the playbook that hasn't been done in 7 years, you know?
Vasquez gonna find it far sideline this time, and that's complete. Knocked out of bounds. No, not knocked out of bounds. He's in play, and that's going to hit the 2-minute warning here in San Diego. Portland with a 24-point advantage on the road and cruising to the first victory of the season. Simulation Football League action presented by APM Music rolls on. Connor Weston, number 83, has had a big day here today, and San Diego put up a bit of a fight there in the first half, but the second half has been all Portland as San Diego completes another pass over the middle into Portland territory as they go no huddle once again.
Yeah, good throw. Keep the arm going for Vasquez. Let him keep throwing the ball here.
Vasquez again finds a back coming out of the backfield this time for a minimal gain. They hurry back up to the line. Offset eye still. Vasquez going to quickly fire, and that's going to be a first down yardage out to the 32-yard line. We're getting closer and closer to 60 seconds here. Mavericks doing a great job of getting back to the line and quickly, but a lot of these short passes here are not doing them any justice as the clock is continuing to roll, not getting out of bounds, not using any timeouts. And finally, one hits the turf, and that'll freeze the clock at 1:03.
Last season, Vasquez was number 3 in passing attempts. This year, he's got to make it to number 1. That's why they've got to make these short throws, the little screens. You know, we gotta pad up these stats just a little bit for Vasquez.
Feel like he got in a little bit of a rhythm here today. The picks that Portland was able to get off of him today, again, not bad decisions by Vasquez, but great defense by Portland as he's able to thread the needle there to a receiver, Connor Weston, as he steps out of bounds just shy of the line. The game brings up 4th and inches.
He did have a good game. He was able to find the end zone a couple times as well. Found 3 touchdowns, which OJ Bruin had a great game, but he only found the end zone once. So he has the win there. And Vasquez has had a really good game, just some unfortunate breaks for him.
So 4th and inches with just under a minute to go. Vasquez is going to throw again into coverage, and that's a fitting way to end everything there as Bear Larson, the free safety, is able to pick off another pass and does it one-handed, sliding to the turf. I think that just encapsulates the defensive effort by Portland.
I mean, not the worst throw from Vasquez. Maybe could have been a little better, but what the heck was that catch? I mean, sliding one-handed, reaching behind him, and gets the pick. That was so impressive.
Backups in the ball game for the Fleet on both sides of the ball as we see a run play for a tackle for loss. It ends up being a timeout used by San Diego. And with 53 seconds on the clock, we'll have just a little bit of time left here before we count this one down. So if you picked the over, definitely got that one right. If you picked the favorite, got that one right as well. So good for you, for anybody betting on the Jack stats there. But San Diego going to add some points to the board via the safety. And that's going to make it 45-23 as the defense there not able to sit and rest. Mufasa Kamau beating his man off the middle of the defense there.
But if you had the over, you got it. If you had the favorite, you had it. But did you have the 3-way with the safety parlay? If you didn't, then you're missing out on some money here because there was a safety right there. I mean, this game has it all.
Gonna have to check the sports book on that one, see if we had any betting slips in that had the parlay with the safety. That's a good call, Mr. Caudill.
I mean, call me if you want some SFL advice or gambling advice, strictly on the SFL, though.
Strictly on the SFL. We don't bet on our own games, by the way. Don't even implant that. We don't want to see any tinfoil hats out there.
How dare you even suggest that? I
I
would
know.
never.
I'm fired. So San Diego gets a crack at the football with 45 seconds, 2 timeouts. Vasquez going to throw another shorty there to about midfield as I believe that was Liam Hammer that made the catch there as he's ushered out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Looking ahead to week 4, San Diego's going to have to travel to the Midwest and take on the St. Louis Gladiators from Gateway Coliseum. And the Portland Fleet, they will be going back home to take on the Sioux Falls Sparrows live from the shipyard. So those will be two battles that we want to see for sure. San Diego with another opportunity possibly to get their first win in franchise history next week as Vasquez completes another pass along the sidelines. And that is going to stop the clock at 36 seconds as they move the chains to the 35.
Yeah, I think San Diego has a good shot. I think they have a decent recipe here for success. They just need to get some good breaks. I think Vasquez had a lot of these throws that it felt like they could go either way. It could have resulted in a touchdown, but it resulted in a pick. If, sometimes those throws break the other way, I think this game could be much different, and I think in the future we'll see a lot more San Diego games. If they can go their way, the result will be different.
Vasquez finds his receiver over the middle of the field on a post route there, and with 30 seconds to go on the dot, San Diego's going to call their second timeout as they get a fresh set of downs at the 14.
Liam Hammer getting his second catch, I believe, of the game. He's been very quiet today. Most of the bulk of the receiving game has been carried by Ryan Owens and Connor Weston here today. Weston having a good game. Most of the receivers getting involved. Even Optimus Klein has some catches to his name as well. I think San Diego, they have, like I said earlier, they have great weapons on this team. Hammer is a great receiver. So is Weston. So is Klein. I mean, they have all the pieces there on offense. They just need to get some better breaks, and it needs to click.
They're just a skosh away from getting it all to click. I believe you are right on that one as Hammer is finally starting to get some productivity here towards the latter part of the ball game. 7 catches, 89 yards, a good stat line there for him.
So not his second catch of the game last time. He's definitely been a lot more active than maybe I've given him credit for. He's been all over the place, nearing 100 yards as well.
You could hear a pin drop in this stadium right now as San Diego trying to get on the board, and they do with a late touchdown. And that will get them close to 30 points pending the extra points. Optimus Klein with the touchdown grab this time around.
Adding another one to the all-time numbers that he has with 65 touchdowns in his career, and a long and storied career at that, nearing those top reception numbers, top yardage numbers. Coming into this game, had 860 receptions and a little bit over 10,500 yards as well.
Yeah, a storied career for sure. Had 10 seasons total in the Simulation Football League. He had 8 of them with the Florida and the Alaska Storm before they had located down to South Florida, where they now reside, as DuPont adds the extra point. And decided to come out to San Diego and to get his own franchise here with the Simulation Football League. And I feel like it's been very productive here in their second season so far. Again, I feel like they're just maybe a little bit off from putting all the pieces together and making it all click as Portland recovers the onside kick, and that will pretty much do it here.
Yeah, and it's really hard to say, what it is that they're missing, really. I mean, because I feel like the offensive pieces are there. They invested in the offensive line in the offseason, picking up Finley James, the center. And they picked up a lot of defensive picks as well. Used 2 first-round picks on linebackers, really strengthening that running defense that they have, strengthening the secondary that they have with some free agents as well. And, I mean, their defensive line today was all over Bruin and really doing a good job of stopping Love in the backfield. So there are a lot of these players that are performing well that just haven't really gotten to that next level. They haven't really been able to put everything together, all have a good game at the same time to where they can get that victory.
And with the victory formation for Portland, that is going to do it here in San Diego. Portland will come out on top with a 15-point victory over the San Diego Mavericks on the road, and that will get them into the win column here in Season 17. San Diego will get another crack at it coming up next week after the convention as we hit the final game stats and highlights. Let's get a look at them here, and let's see what jumps out at us. Although we've talked about it over the course of the ball game, turnovers and the points off the turnovers were big.
Yeah, and we've talked a lot about Portland and their turnovers, but they had just as many, almost just as many as San Diego threw, with 4 interceptions of their own. So both of these teams were able to get these turnovers, and like you said, it's just a matter of who could capitalize on those turnovers more. Portland multiple times was able to get these interceptions, drive down the field, and get a touchdown, and that made the value of those interceptions go up immensely. Versus San Diego, they weren't quite able to capitalize on those same turnovers. They weren't quite able to take it into the end zone. They opened up the third quarter with an interception, but that was led by a 3-and-out. So it's a bit rough. They need these pieces to kind of fit together. Everyone needs to work together at the same time. And it just seems like these flashes are just popping up at different times, but not quite coming together into a solid light. And that's really going to be the trouble for the Mavericks this season, is really being able to come together as a unit and to get that victory. Because that is a big part of winning these games, is coming together as a unit, as a team, really performing and getting victories, just like Portland did today. The whole secondary of Portland was able to step up and get these picks. The running game from Ezekiel Love was great, but Bruin was able to step up his game and play great in the receiving game, finding his receivers and getting these clutch first downs on third down. And that is a big part of the winning in this game, and that is why Portland came out on top, and Portland had an amazing game. They played very well across the board in every single position. The linebackers were great. The secondary was phenomenal. And Ezekiel Love had one of the best games I've ever watched.
Yeah, he had some of the most impressive runs that I have seen from an SFL running back. And some patient runs, some runs that just wowed you. I mean, it was all across the board, and his stat line shows it. 268 yards just casually on the ground there for Ezekiel Love. And, I think you hit the nail on the head. Hats off to the whole Portland Fleets squad, because they came together as a team to win this ball game. It wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. O.J. Bruin had his fair share of picks. He turned the football over, wasn't very careful with the football a lot of times, because that San Diego Mavericks defense came to play, and they wanted to hit the quarterback, and they hit the quarterback quite often. So it was just a matter of Portland responding to the call and making sure that they came out on top here today.
Yeah, there was that explosion in the first quarter as well, was huge. It was really an all-around effort.
And no surprise, Ezekiel Love, 22 carries, 268, 4 touchdowns, and a little bit coming out of the backfield as well. On behalf of Ryan Caudill, my name is Eric Vinson. Big props to Commissioner and Executive Producer Cameron Irvine for tonight's broadcast. This is a presentation of the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. Thank you to everyone who attended the convention here in League City, and we will see you next year. Stay tuned.